Which brings us to question 17, the final question in this game. Which one of the following must be true about Freedom's schedule of voyages? And this is a fabulous example of a time trap question, right? They're coming out and asking you what must be true. All right, so first we want to try to use previous hypotheticals as counterexamples to eliminate as many answer choices as possible. But again, before checking every answer choice, we want to scan them as well to make sure we haven't already made this deduction. So let's take a closer look at the answer choices, turning our attention first to A. Freedom makes a voyage to Guadalupe either in week 1 or else in week 2. And you notice in all of our previous work, we have Guadalupe either in week 1 or in week 2 for all of our previous hypotheticals. But again, that doesn't necessarily mean it must be true. We could have a scenario that we haven't drawn out yet where we don't see Guadalupe in week 1 or week 2. So let's hold A, moving to B. Freedom makes a voyage to Martinique either in week 2 or else in week 3. And if you notice in our previous work from question 13, our top scenario, week 2 and 3 is G and J. So B doesn't have to be true. Again, coming directly from our previous work from question number 13. Turning our attention to C. Freedom makes at most 2 voyages to Guadalupe. And again, in none of our previous work do we see Guadalupe more than twice. Again, don't forget that in this scenario over here, these are reverse dual options. We're going to have 1 Martinique and 1 Guadalupe. But that doesn't mean that it must be true. Again, there could be a possibility where we see 3 voyages to Guadalupe that we just haven't drawn out yet. And again, we know that having a destination appear 3 times is clearly a possibility. So again, we're not going to eliminate C. Moving to D, Freedom makes at most 2 voyages to Jamaica. And again, we made that deduction in our general setup. Jamaica is maximum going to show up twice because of the condition that anytime we have Jamaica, we must have Guadalupe in the week immediately preceding it. So if we had 3 Jamaicas, we would have to have 3 Guadalupes in each week preceding each Jamaica, which is 6 of the 7 weeks, but we still have to place M and T, which clearly does not follow. So D must be true, and D would be the correct answer. And again, a great example of a time trap question that they're trying to get you to have to go through all of these answer choices and check them one at a time, and proving that something must be true is extremely difficult because you would have to show that it's the case in every single possible scenario. So again, that's why we quickly scan the answer choices, looking for counter examples from previous work that can eliminate answer choices because they're not necessarily true, and also looking for any of the major deductions that we made, like answer choice D here, that Freedom can make at most 2 voyages to Jamaica. And that is the end of our discussion of the 3rd game. Let's turn our attention now to the 4th game of the June 2007 LSAT.